people, well, guess what? Everyone's looking for those jobs because they're the only thing with a beacon out. No one's looking for work because there is no beacon. It's not out there. It's picks and shovels time, kids. We can all go out and make stuff happen. We just have to have that one extra little bit of, I think I'll create the work. You as media makers also have that other thing you did for a while. Remember? You can do those two together. It's okay. And you can find this sort of vector. Now, it doesn't mean that people who have jobs are bad. It doesn't mean people who like to go to an office are bad. Offices are swell. I keep my Post-it notes in them. But I think it means that even at your desk, even at your day job kind of desk, you've got to start thinking in that mindset of work, because job security doesn't exist. Anyone still think job security exists? I just want to check on that. All right. Anyone not get shaken off of that pedestal?
If you're a senator, Chris.
If you're a senator, evidently. Oh, I won't go there. Ted Stevens? No. There's a lot of cameras up here. Did you notice? There's those, like, you know, those kind. So anyway, with work, I think that there's a couple things. One is find work, don't find jobs, and the other is find work that you can get a lot of people into. I mean, it's not that much harder to start to find jobs for 10 people. To start thinking, and I'm trying to start a census of 100 people. I'm trying to see if I can get 100 people employed in some form or fashion, and by employed just making money. I don't care where. By the end of next year, that's my personal goal. Because I can only do 100 right now. By podcamp 7, I hope I can say I'm working on getting 1,000 people jobs. If we all just worked on 10 at a time, that's not bad. If you get 10 people into work, that wouldn't be bad. That's kind of my goal to you, is as you're preparing for your future, as you're thinking about this stuff, and we'll keep talking about various things, my thought is look for work, and look for work for others, and use your network. Connect people together. It's amazing how many people only go to LinkedIn the day after they're in that office with the boss who says, I'm really sorry. And then they go to LinkedIn and tidy up the profile and then start being my friend. LinkedIn is a network, not a place for your resume.
How many people actually, I'm just curious, how many people have either a blog or a podcast or a Twitter account or a Facebook account or a LinkedIn account? Okay, now keep your hands up if you are already connected in some way on any one of those channels to more than 50 people. That's pretty much the entire room. And think about that. If you all actually sew your networks together, 226 times 50 is bad at math.
What are you looking at me? I'm like, 1,000?
It's bad. It's in that range. But think about that. How many people? Okay, just for pure numbers fun. More than 100 people connected to you in some fashion. More than 500 people connected to you in some fashion. More than 1,000 people connected to you in some fashion. Holy crap! Look around. Look around. All these people.
More than 100,000. Just checking.
Second level, yes.
They're all selling Forex, evidently. I
get Viagra.
I went into the Twitter stream, like the home Twitter stream, which is not where I go, and like every other one is like Forex and the Trump Network and the Trump Network and Forex, and some good porn, and then Forex. It's amazing.
So think about that. Your networks are gigantic. I mean, this room is filled with probably, at least, at the very least, several 100,000 connections that are literally just a person to your left or to your right away. Take the time this weekend. I mean, yeah, there's sessions, yeah, there's cool stuff, and people will have slides and things like that. But take the time to actually talk to people. I'd be personally thrilled if all the presenters said, screw it, we're not doing sessions anymore. Just talk with people, and just grab a table and talk with people about stuff. If you get a chance, and this is really important for you to do, is start broadcasting stuff using the hashtag. Say who wants to talk about how to do this. One of the best sessions I ever went to actually was at podcamp Toronto, where you said the session title was "Please someone teach me Final Cut Pro." It wasn't I'm going to teach. She was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Can someone show up and teach this? And it worked out very well. Actually, about 30 people there who said, okay, here's how you actually use this thing. You still don't use it, but
right? Yeah, I can't use it. I'm not smart enough. But I can't even use the new iMovie. I use the other one, the HD one.
Okay.
I'm not smart.
But take the opportunity to do that yourself with the people who are here. Say who knows anything about how to Twitter effectively. Who knows anything about how to do an audio podcast? If you don't see it on the full presentation grids, ask people. There's so much expertise. There's so many networks. Ask any of the people who have more than 500 people on the network. How did you do that? How do you get there? You know, if that's something that's of value to you, how do you get there?
There's a format you could use too, by the way. I think about this a lot, especially when you have to go to networking events. Networking events suck, don't they? I mean, let's just admit, they blow. I mean, you never say anything interesting. You see the person you haven't seen in 8 months or something, and you're like, hey, good to see you again. How to see you? How you been? Good. Yeah, how you good? That's all you do. Like, what good is that? I mean, yes, ambient touch, whatever, hug, kiss the baby. But, you don't come home going like, wow, crap, now I'm rich. The format I would like to see in my mind is, I know how to, you say what you know how to do, I would love to know more about, and then suddenly everybody could network. Suddenly everyone could find out whatever. It's like, who in here would love to make their blog better? Who would like to make it a little more precise? Jim Spencer in the front row is like a superstar, smart guy about how to fix blogs. Who wants to know about how to do email marketing such that you actually do something with it instead of piss off people? That's Chris.
Don't ask me. I piss off people all the time.
Never mind. I mean, who wants to know how to do good video editing, good video blogging? Who wants to do something better with their photos? I mean, you've got people around this room. Who wants better ideas for job hunting? Sherlock runs the. You want all of those?
You have a busy
everywhere.
You have a busy weekend ahead of you.
But I mean, if you started with that premise, I know how to. I'd love to know more about. It's an easy way to start getting the connections to the people with whom you'd like to have some relationships. And again, to the point of networking, maybe we should reflash that TweetML page at some point, but it's looks like that evidently. He's ninja-like. Why not start here? Why not start with connecting to all these people and actually building some kind of robust relationship so that you can use the network? I mean, I use it for everything. I tweeted a moment ago, I'm lost because I'm an idiot and I can't walk from the Synapse.
That's every podcast.
Yeah, I'm always lost. And if I didn't run into Dave and Lynette, I would have still been walking around going, In fact, I was going to go back and get my car because I knew the GPS would work.
So, just a show of hands, just for curiosity, how many people were here at PodCamp number 1, the very, very first one? Okay, so for all of you who are new, keep your hands up, folks. At least connect with one of these folks who can say, here's kind of the way things are going. How many people have been to all 5 Boston PodCamps? Okay, just a few of us. That's fine. How many people have been to a PodCamp besides this one? Wow. Okay, wow, nice. How many people are brand new? First time ever? So you guys are all literally the future of this. We've done 5 years of it. We've had a lot of fun with it. 115 locations from Rio de Janeiro down out to Singapore to Perth, Australia.
I keep trying to quit.
How's it working for you?
I can't quit you.
But it really is something that we threw out there because we had no idea what we were doing, and we continue to have no idea about what we were doing by throwing it out there instead of trying to make money on it. The point is, take this, and whether it's PodCamp, BarCamp, any of the X camps out there, Media Camp, MarCamp, do one. If you have the option to do so, if you have the willingness and the drive to do one, do something like this because it's amazing. there's frankly no easier way to network than to run the event.
Let's run through what it takes to do one. So you need a venue, and thank you, N.E.R.D. Because this is awesome. Our first venue is the Bunker Hill Community College, which is famous for being, Battle of Bunker Hill, also famous for being where they filmed parts of Good Will Hunting, which was evidently very interesting to Jeff Pulver, who hired me partly because he was excited about the Good Will Hunting thing. What an awesome way to get a job. That worked. So the other thing is, so we needed a venue, we needed a sense of how we were going to pay for everything, so we started asking around for sponsors. We had no idea what sponsors wanted, so I wrote a blog post for you today at chrisbrogan.com on what sponsors, what we should be doing with them.
We need people to show up.
We need people to show up because we need great ideas, because if there's no content and there's no attendees, participants, there are no attendees at PodCamp. If there are no participants, then there's no event. So you need a market to market this event too, should you want to be throwing an event. And then the sort of secret trick is, there's 2 ways to run them. You can run one in which you intend to make a lot of money, or you can run one in which you intend to take over the world. One is a little longer haul, and you still have to gather nuts and berries, but the other one works eventually because all of you are secret plants. There's tens of thousands of PodCamp participants now who all have this sort of feeling like, ooh, I was part of it, who are now our slaves. It's perfect.
Really?
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm using my power, it's just not working.
And
Are you pinky or the brain?
That's a toughie.
So, to kind of wrap up, because what we want to do is actually give you about half an hour's time to actually talk to the person to your left, to your right, in front, and behind you. Take the opportunity this weekend to step outside of what you are used to doing. If you see yourself as, the vice president of this or that, or an employee of this or that, take just a moment and say, okay, I'm going to leave that at the door, and I'm going to see who I actually am and what I'm actually interested in doing. And if you're not doing it professionally, at least take the opportunity with all these new media tools and outlets to explore what you actually want to do. First as a hobby, and you may find that there's an audience here, there's a set of networks here that will let you do that full time and be much, much happier at doing it. So, thank you very much for showing up, all 226 of you. I like the fact that we're just standing on the walls. Well, sorry, Microsoft Nerd, we'll get some Windex. And take the next half hour. Literally, don't move, don't get up. Just introduce the person to your left, to your right, in front row, behind you. If you're in the front row, sorry. And welcome to podcamp.
I gotta visualize.
Thank you.
I think we did that already.
We did?
My favorite place to go.
From podcamp 5. This is Bruce Garber from BruceKGarber.com.